What's going on, everyone? Carolina Buzz here. We talk everything Carolina sports. If that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, we're going to be talking about Mark Williams and how the trade with the Los Angeles Lakers has been rescinded. So basically, the Lakers did not like Mark's physicals. There's a lot of speculation on what it is, but we're just going to talk about the facts. Whether, I know a lot of people have a lot of ideas of what actually went down, but we're just going to talk about exactly what we know. So basically what happened is Lakers did not like Mark's physicals, so they rescinded the trade. So therefore we don't get Don't Connect, we don't get the 2030 pick swap, we don't get Cam Reddish, and we don't get the 2031 unprotected first round pick. And Mark Williams comes back to Charlotte. It's strange because we already have Nurkic. We have Nurkic, Musa, who just right before I'm recording this video, Musa just got his standard deal. So he went from a two-way to a three-year standard deal. And then we have Mark and then Taj. So we have four centers right now. I don't know, man. I'm sorry I didn't record this video last night. I honestly was so upset and so angry that I did not feel like recording. I just felt as though it's one of those things where it's just once again the Hornets, and from all intents and purposes, it could be seen as the Lakers. Some people saying they failed his physical on purpose, but even if that, the thing is that what has been said the most, and I easily can understand where LA media is going to have a precedent way before Charlotte media, and hopefully we can change that. That's the whole point of this channel. But maybe not change that, but make Charlotte media a little more respected, because I feel as though we're obviously not respected, because LA can just change the narrative. And right now the narrative is that the Hornets are doing dirty business. But Mark has been hurt. He's only played 80 games in his career, a little more than 80. I don't know. Like I said, I just want to stick to the facts. And what the facts are is that now we have four centers. Musa is now on a standard deal. We have Nurkic and we have Taj. Taj I'm not really worried about, because after this season, more than likely will be gone. Then you have Nurkic, Musa, Mark. At this point, I know they were going to flip Nurkic anyway at some point, or maybe that was the beauty of kind of where we were, is that you could possibly let Nurkic deal just run out if you need a center, or the Hornets are pretty good and it's like, right now we're in the play-in, we have a positive record, there will be no need to trade him just to trade him, and let's just let it run out. But in hopes that by the end of the season we're in the play-in. You had a lot to work with. Now you have to make a decision going into next year, or at some point next year. It doesn't have to be right away. It doesn't have to be in the offseason, but at some point you do have to make a decision on whether or not you're trading Nurkic, Mark, and that's it. I know Musa's here to stay, but if you trade Mark, I don't think the value will be the same, because right now it's for all intents and purposes, it looks like he's cooked as far as his physicality or his physicals. There's no telling. Right now we don't have that much information. So, as the league, I could assume they would just think that he's hurt and he's damaged goods. And I hate to say that about a player, but that's just how the league views these guys. So I hate to say that, but it may be hard to move off of him, and then you may have to move off of him just out of respect. There's no point. I think Tyson Chandler was a big one where a trade was rescinded, and that ended up being OKC's claim to fame, because if they didn't rescind that trade, it's possible that they don't become what they became when they had Westbrook and Durant and Harden. Not to say they won a championship, but either way, the point is that boded well for them, and we don't know if that that likely would have been the same. Anyway, it's just tough. I don't know what you do, especially trying as far as going to get your next center. I think that if you can't build a relationship, then you can. Because I think the New Orleans Hornets at that point, they were able to rebuild that relationship with Tyson Chandler and just move forward, and then they eventually ended up trading him anyway for an even lesser package. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's going to be hard to play Mark, but also if you want to get off of him, then you have to kind of play him. I didn't expect, this is the thing, and this is obviously just me being optimistic, and I'm usually fairly not an optimistic person, but I feel as though my job being here and making these videos is to be optimistic and really just give you both sides of the coin. So the optimistic side here is that you keep Mark. I had no intention of trading Mark in the first place, so that was a complete shock to me. So I expected him to be on this roster. Now, did I expect Yusuf Nurkic to be on the roster? No, but we are where we are. So I think that you could keep Mark and see, like, if you can build that relationship. Not to say he's going to be here long term, or not to say he's the answer at center. I still have my reservations about him. Everything I said, I still mean. It's just more so I didn't expect to trade him in the first place. So I think that there's still a path with him on the team. I think that you could turn Nurkic into what Dalton Connect was going to give you. That was a beautiful part of this trade, was that you have Dalton Connect, who's this like movement shooter. He can create his own shot, and we need shot creation. But now it's a little fuzzy. So you could possibly trade Nurkic for that, because he has a big, he has a lot of money attached to his contract. That's something I would look at, and then just see where you can get with Mark, and maybe possibly just let Mark's contract run out. Don't try to because I still am iffy about re-signing him. I still, worry about his defensive woes. I'm still worried about just not his effort. I know a lot of people are on his effort. I'm more so on like his physicality, and maybe because he's hurt. I don't know, but like I always have said, I felt as though Mark is too big to play as soft as he is. So that's something I'm still concerned about. So you can look to make a change there. I still think they should get a center. Maybe you could hold it off until next draft. And, centers are, I wouldn't say a dime a dozen. You have your dominance, of course, and a dominant center changes everything. But the center I think the Hornets really need, it's like a Musa. I mean, I'm not saying Musa should be like a starting center in this league. I thought he should definitely deserve to be starting center going forward this season. But it's not to say he's the permanent answer. But a starting center for the Hornets looks like Musa, a guy that's going to compete, a guy that's going to hustle, a guy that's going to get physical, a guy that's going to get loud when things are, you know what I'm saying? Like just a guy that is the ultimate hustle guy. And one thing about Musa also, just like skill set wise, is that he's able to go out into the perimeter and give Wemby a little trouble. Like he's able to do these things. And, there was times even in that Spurs game, he was able to switch on to Fox, and Fox is a fantastic player, so Fox would, of course, make these shots, but at least Musa, was there. Like we've seen with Nick and Mark, they don't know what to do when they get in that situation. And a lot of it's because of their size. So a starting center for the Hornets looks like someone that can make that switch. Maybe not all the time, but if it does happen in a one-on-one, you're like, okay, I can live with this possession. I know they're at least going to put up good defense. Now, if the other player is just that good, it is what it is. Offensive game, we get it. But as far as just having Mark do that, I don't have any faith, and I don't think that's what the future center of the Hornets looks like. So I think that's what needs to be changed. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do here, and I wish I had the answer, but I really don't. I think the biggest thing, I know some people say you play Mark and go through the season. I don't know. I don't think you do. And what's also possible if the Hornets, it is the Lakers. It's if you're going to try to swindle the Lakers, that's ridiculous. Like we've seen swindles all throughout the NBA. It's not the first time. But if the Hornets were trying to swindle the Lakers, like come on, like no, that the league is going to get in. You know what I mean? So like know your place. That's just one of those things. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but if that was the thing that happened, it's just I wouldn't have even tried that in the first place. So now we are where we are. It's not a horrible situation. It's frustrating because it's like, of course, this happens with the Hornets, but it's not an awful place. I mean, like I said, Nurkic is a guy that you can easily move off of. And move his money and like pair his money up with a disgruntled not a superstar, but a disgruntled like star role player or a good role, like you know what I mean. So it's very possible to move off Nurkic. I'm not concerned about that. It's not like Mark is on this 7-year deal. Like he has next year he's eligible for extension, and the year after that I think it's done. So it's not like it's going to take forever. The biggest thing is just like, it's just all about the relationship. If they can build a relationship and say, look, Mark, we're going to give you a fair shot. We're going to play you as we see fit. We're never going to bench you or anything like that, as long as you're healthy. And then, obviously we'll let you walk into free agency. We won't hold you up. That could be what they're working for. So like this whole between now and then, it's a giant tryout. They could trade him. I wouldn't even be surprised if a team was like, look, we get it. It's the Lakers. We would like Mark. We don't know what the medical situation is like. We're not going to give up what they gave up, but we're going to give you something. We're going to give you a couple seconds. We're going to give you that. Maybe. And that's just because like I think the relationship, you can never really truly get back to where it was before, and even before, it didn't seem like it was all the way there. I don't know, but I don't want to ramble too long. Super Bowl Sunday, so I hope y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. My family and I, we're about to go do some stuff and get ready because we're going to have some people over. But so I don't know if any other news breaks would I be able to hop on. They all know what I do as far as like what I want to do, which is doing this. So it's very possible they'll let me. You know, they're very cool about that. Like I've always been appreciative of that. But will I feel like it's worth it of doing it depending on the news? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. Like I know I rambled a lot, and there's a lot of thoughts because there's still so much unknown. Like when Shams finally went on ESPN to talk about the trade, it literally went from trade rescinded. All right, what's next for the Lakers? And it's like we didn't get any new information on this, and at that point it was very vague. Like there was no telling what happened, and so we didn't get any new information. And then it went straight to, okay, what are the Lakers going to do going forward? It's like what is anybody? There's two teams in this deal, and that's why I'm here. That's why you got Buzzboy. That's why you got Buzzbeat. That's why you got so many other people trying to make things enjoyable for Hornets fans, because they didn't even touch on the Hornets at all. They didn't even really talk about Mark Williams at all. It was trade rescinded. What's next for the Lakers? And I understand it's the Lakers. If you were going to talk about it for another 5 minutes and the Lakers had 4, I'm cool on that. Makes sense. I get it. It's national TV. Everybody's here talking about the Lakers. But to not even mention the other team and the other side of this is ridiculous. But yeah, so as far as what we could do, I just want to break it down real quick because I know I did a lot of rambling. I think we can. They already signed Musa to his deal, so we can either trade Nurkic for a wing vet shooter, which I would personally like that. And it's not like it's impossible because he's, like I said, he will be on expiring, and we just have 4 centers. Even if Taj is gone, then we'll have 3. And why would we need 3 centers? And once again, they still kind of all do the same thing except a little different. Nurkic can pop out and hit a 3, but. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to keeping him and having him pair. I would rather have him pair with Musa and then kind of see where we can go as far as, you know, how good we can be next year. That's kind of my favorite. But like long-term wise, what would probably be best is maybe seeing if you can flip him and some assets for a good wing shooter. Then you could also just trade Mark. You could, at the end of the year, just be like, look, Mark, we're just going to trade you. We have a team willing to give up 2 seconds. We understand this relationship cannot be paired. We're just going to trade you. What's the other option? The other option could be simply just letting the contract run out. Like, look, Mark, from now until the end of your contract, and that also would happen with Nurkic being traded and whatnot. We're just going to let you play. You know, we may not see you as a starter. We're going to, in that replace you in that manner, but we are going to let you play significant minutes. This is going to be your tryout. You know, you will obviously give effort, then you will be rewarded by the time the contract's over. We're not going to do anything to stop you from signing with your new team. That could be an option. And that's really it. I mean, I don't think there's a place where you re-sign Mark. That was my biggest thing, is I did not want to pay Mark. I did not. As much as I like Mark, I did not want to re-sign him. So you got to get off his contract somehow. You have to move him somehow. We will see what they do. I think my favorite thing to do as far as like immediate possible success is to trade Mark, keep Nurkic, keep Musa. Build up the team a little bit, be healthy, go into next season and see where you can be. And hopefully, because the East is going to be bad, so you have a chance to get these guys in the playoffs. And that will just make everything feel all right. It would make everything feel like, okay, we're headed in the right direction once again after that debacle with Mark. Or you can trade Nurkic for a vet wing, and that would, a good vet wing, Nurkic and some assets, and then just run with Mark and Musa. And then at this point, you're letting Mark, like I said, earn his next contract. He's obviously going to have to give effort if he wants a team to pick him up. I mean, a team's going to probably pick him up regardless. But if he wants that money in that secured future, then it would behoove him to play and actually give effort. I know a lot of people are worried about his effort. That's what I think. We'll see. But there's a lot of other options, of course, I'm probably missing, but I'm trying to record this video early. I'm trying to get it done. But thank you so much for watching. And I don't know, man. Last night it was tough. I really was wanting to record this video, but I could not find the words. And then also the information was just so vague. But Let me know what y'all thoughts are. There are plenty of scenarios that could play out, and I really haven't spent too much time thinking about it. But maybe in the future I'll release another video with like detailed explanation. But that's just off the top of the dome. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.